Peace. Today is Monday the 23rd, making today's math, wisdom, understanding, all being born to power refinement. Your wisdom is your wise words, and your understanding is the best part. Bring the two together and they manifest power, which is the truth, and refinement, which cleanses one mentally as well as physically. Peace. Peace. Welcome back to the Not a Mean Godcast. I'm Lord Jamar.
And I'm Digga.
Back for another week of building.
Word.
With the people. With
Hey,
each other.
people.
How you feeling this week, Queen?
I'm good. I've been I actually took a little trip to Dallas and back.
Okay.
So
How was that?
that was fun. I did some work with Stone Mecca. Shouts out to Stone Mecca, Galaxy 9 folks out there. Cyrock, who bomb spitter. We got to revisit that too. By the way, my female spitters list. I feel like I gave a lot of light to like the commercial female spitters, but there are some female spitters that that we don't really hear about on the mainstream front that will really like just wrap circles around my whole list. So we're gonna definitely revisit that in the not so distant future. But shouts out to Cyrock for putting it down.
Okay. Well, listen, before we really move on and get into, whatever topics we're going to build on, every segment or whatever, I give you the math of the day, okay? Mm-hmm. And I thought, I'm not going to sit and assume that everyone understands what that's even about.
So I feel you, because I'm just over here like, Amazon Prime Day, add to cart. I'm hearing Born to Born, and
you be Lord Cipher God,
Lord Cipher God, Born to Born, peace, brother.
And so I see that, even my sister is not truly clear, and see, understanding is the crystal clear picture drawn in the mind from knowledge and wisdom.
Does that make me an 85er?
Are you an 85? Yeah.
Nah. 80, come on, give me 87, man. 87. Can I be 88? 88.
Listen, you could be 5.
So all right, so 88
you
is
could
like
be 5.
I know a little bit more than the 8. I'm not as ignorant as the 85ers, but I still have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. So 88. 88er.
Well,
88er.
I might work with you. An 88er.
Wouldn't that be worse?
Would
that be worse? Oh yeah, right.
No.
Yeah, I guess you want to go less.
I want to go the other way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like a 75er, you want to be maybe.
All right, 70.
You understand?
75er. 50.
It's never good to be 50-50.
Never good to be.
But
50.
Anyway.
Damn it, I'm a whole 20.
We
don't
ride fences.
I'm a dub. There you go. I'm a 20 sack.
Anyway, we're going to get you to a 5.
All
we're going
right.
to get you to a 5. But, so I wanted to just briefly, first of all, quickly go over the history of the 5% Nation, which was started by the Father Allah. His name was originally Clarence Jower Smith. Ended up joining the Nation of Islam. Was Clarence 13X Smith. Left the Nation of Islam. Became the Father Allah and went out onto the streets of Harlem to basically teach his version of knowledge itself to the young, to the youth, basically. His job and his understanding was to save the babies. Okay, so he went out into Harlem and built with the babies. This is back in 65. Is around the time that he first started.
You look dressed like you're about to drop some shit too, by the way.
Oh, yeah. This is my you know what I mean? My Wakanda shirt I have on today. But anyway, so Allah came up with, among other things, supreme mathematics. Now, supreme mathematics, a lot of people will say it's based in basically numerology. Some people will say,
Okay.
but this was customized for, the black man and woman here in North America that went through certain things that were particular to us in this continent as original people, especially with things, that we've gone through with slavery and such, whatever the case may be.
Okay.
But so he came up with what's called supreme mathematics. Now, even in real mathematics, we learn just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But when you get deeper into like quantum physics and all this, you find out that numbers actually have deeper meanings than just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically, supreme mathematics gives you an understanding for what each number means. Okay? And it kind of gives you a foundational order of how things work in life as well. Okay? So, for example, let's just get right into it. The first number is knowledge, right? Well, hang on for a second. I'm about to get controversial here, right?
Uh-oh.
Okay, because even in the 5% nation, traditionally, we teach that Cipher is almost like an add-on number,
Mm-hmm.
but really Cipher is all numbers. And Cipher is 0. Okay, like all numbers go into 0, correct?
Mm-hmm.
1 plus 0, 2 plus 0. You know what I mean? Like all numbers go to 0. So 0 is actually the whole, but we don't teach it like that. We believe that 0 is nothing. We're taught that 0 is nothing. Now, we teach that 0 is a cipher, which is a person, place, or thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So when you see a 0, think in your mind, cipher. Person, place, or thing. Okay? That's all I need you to see it as right now. It also is a circle, which is 360 degrees, 120, knowledge 120, wisdom 120, understanding 120, which is 360. So now that being said, most people would put the 0 last, is all I'm saying, and they would say add cipher. But that's true. Although that's traditionally how we teach it, that's I can't teach it like that anymore because that's really not correct. 0 is the entirety of all things. But anyway, as far as numbers go, 1 is knowledge. Okay? Now, knowledge is the foundation of all things in this world as far as we live in a mental world. Okay? Like you think before you do. Okay? Like thought is what manifests the physical. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like we could think about, okay, I want to have a baby, and then the baby is created. Or I think about, I want to make a computer, and the computer is created. The computer is not created, and then I think about it. You understand? Mm-hmm. So everything is starts with knowledge. Okay? So 1 is knowledge. And I'm just going to leave it at that because in the 5%, it gets even deeper as to knowledge is a whole bunch of things. You see what I'm saying? But on a foundational level, knowledge is just the foundation of existence in this world. 2 is wisdom, which is actions and words. Okay? So your words are your wisdom. Your ways and actions are your wisdom. Now I can tell your knowledge, what kind of knowledge you have, through how you speak and how you move. It's manifest. Your wisdom is a manifestation of your knowledge because knowledge comes first. Now, how do I get to number 3, which is understanding? Okay. So I know I can understand what you're about through your knowledge and wisdom. You understand what I'm saying? So that's 1 plus 2 equals 3. You dig? And understanding is what we say is the best part, because it is the crystal clear picture drawn up in the mind from knowledge and wisdom. Are you with me so far?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Looking a little baffled.
Is it like a kid in school?
I know. Yes.
So all of this becomes 0? This is all...
Well, think about one. If you have knowledge, which is 120 degrees, and you have wisdom, which is 120 degrees, and you have understanding, which is 120 degrees.
That makes 360.
That makes 360.
Oh, okay.
But also, if you add 1 plus 2 plus 3, that's 6 now. That's also within the cipher. 6 is equality, but we didn't get there yet.
Okay.
Right now, we're just at understanding.
Okay.
Yes. So as we move on, 4 is culture freedom. Now, culture is one's way of life. Okay. Now, in the times we live in, they'll have you think there are many, types of lifestyles that you can adapt. But there's only one true way of life for original people, and that lifestyle deals in truth and harmony with nature and just with your natural self, and not with, unnatural concepts that have been adopted over time, that have been given to us by outside cultures, which are unrefined. Okay? So we deal with a culture that is, pardon me, I'm talking about refinement. We deal with a culture of freedom and not a culture of, slavery, or one that, jails your mind, jails your dome. We free your dome. Okay? So that's, in the mathematics, that's what number 4 is standing for. Culture freedom. Okay? Now 5 is power refinement. Power is truth. Truth is the light, which takes one out of darkness and allows one to see who one really is. Refinement is to be cleansed mentally as well as physically. That's something that we need. You know what I mean? Okay. We need power. We need to speak truth. They say that the truth will set you free. And this is definitely true, although sometimes the truth hurts. But that's part of the refinement process sometimes. You understand?
We love truth here.
Oh, we love truth.
The truth is the truth.
And listen, and right, the truth is not facts. The truth is the truth. And I just want to say that, me personally, I'm about finding the truth and exposing the truth wherever it may lead me, even if that place is not popular. I just want to plant that seed. So yeah, as we go on, 6 is equality. Now earlier I said 1, 2, and 3. If you add those numbers, you get the number 6. Equality is to be equal in all forms of knowledge. If you know something, you share your knowledge with me, I share my knowledge with you, and together, we have equality. Or when understanding is understood, okay, so that's when number 3 and number 3, 3 and 3 is 6. So when you understand my understanding, we have equality. Okay, you seeing how the beauty of how this is
So,
starting to work?
okay. So when you're doing the math, you're basically using the numbers and the date. So,
Exactly.
okay.
Okay, so the mathematics changes day by day as the date changes. Now, as we have repetition of dates, you'll hear repetition of the math. Um, but that's just showing improving the cycle. There's cycles in life, and there's
Yes.
repetition
Everything
is
comes
part
full
of
circle.
life. Yeah.
As they say, everything comes full circle.
Yeah, yeah. People saying, "Hey, why you keep saying that? He said that before already, motherfucker. You ate yesterday, right? You're gonna eat today. Like life is about cycles and doing the same shit over and over in little, whatever rituals.
Okay.
7. Now everybody loves that number. You know what I mean? People that don't even really know about mathematics kind of know that 7 is a special number. 7 is a lucky number, they say. Well, 7 stands for God. That's God's number. They say the devil's number is 6 because 6 also represents a limitation as far as not being able to go any higher, and 7 has surpassed that limitation with that extra knowledge, you see. But there's many ways to get to this number 7. You know what I mean? 2 plus 5, 3 plus 4, 6 plus 1. There's not one way to arrive to your God self. So don't let nobody say, "Oh, you got to do it this way, you got to do it that way." No, there's many ways I can get to my final destination. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus. You know what I mean? Whatever, however I want to get there. But 7 is God, and God is, the supreme being, your supreme self, your higher self. Not the ego self. Yeah. God is that supreme creator. 8 is build, destroy. Okay, now
I hear that a lot.
right. Build, destroy. Now, you see 8 is almost like 2 ciphers. One on top, one on the bottom. So one is to build and one is to destroy. And they kind of work, in a symbiotic nature, because as you build your knowledge, you're destroying your ignorance simultaneously. You understand? Or you could be simultaneously destroying what you build, what you've already built. You understand what I'm saying? Depending on which cipher you're dealing in. So we strive to build on the positive and destroy the negative. Finally, born is to bring into existence. So, just as a baby is born, you born your thoughts, you born ideas, you born your words. When you make your knowledge born, you see, it's through your wisdom. You see? And born is also to be complete. It's that final stage before, numbers now start repeating themselves again. And, because when we get to 10, that's really 1 again with a 0. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, yeah. So, we, if you review this, this little segment, you'll have a much better understanding of when, I give the math before each segment, and you say, "Oh, okay, I get it. I get it a little more."
So we'll make this homework for everybody. Each day the podcast is coming on, you have to see if you can do the math before he says it.
Right.
And be honest if you get it right or wrong.
Right. Well, we're gonna put it up there. You know what I mean? And you'll see, and yeah, so that can be your little pause it on that, and that'll be a little screenshot it or whatever the fuck.
Colors actually work that way too. All the colors in the spectrum, they all when they're all when they all come
And
together,
listen,
they're
that-
black. Black represents like everything.
Well, see, the colors, that's a whole other thing, because actually these numbers do coincide with
With the
colors,
colors.
you know,
Okay.
because that's like chakras that you're dealing with. And each of these chakras, if you understand about the chakras, they actually align with the mathematics.
I was actually,
you know,
I was actually over here trying to Google the exact number of colors in the spectrum. I don't know if it's 7 or 8. I feel like it's.
well, it's 7, but then they say there's other ones that you not can necessarily see that's supposed to even go up even higher. But the ones that are actually on your body are supposed to be 7. Yeah, but it's deep. It's deep that you brought that up. But that's something that necessarily is not necessarily taught in the 5% Nation. But you know, I think we can maybe
That's a higher learning.
update. And yeah, well, you know, knowledge is infinite. Also,
Hey, so
I forgot to say.
So I'm not a dub sack. I'm a dime now.
Listen,
I'm getting closer.
Well, now you don't want to be a dime. You don't want to be a dime
Uh-oh.
because here's the thing.
Damn.
The 5% are the ones that know and strive to teach knowledge, you know, of the original man to the 85%. Now, the 10%, the dimes, they know, but they want to hold the knowledge from the 85% in order to be the bloodsuckers of the poor. Okay, so these are the those are like the Trumps of the world and shit. You don't want to be a dime, okay? That's why I say you want to get to the 5.
I was always
Fuck
curious
all the-
to know where did 85 come from. Like if it's 5 and it's 85.
Well, who's
what
the
happened
10?
to the other 10? Okay.
The 10 is the adversary. You see?
Speaking of Trump.
Speaking of Trump,
Nice little segue.
we're going to get back to him right after this. Peace. It's the absence of all confusion. United we stand, divided we fall. 2 fingers together is the real peace sign, y'all. Brand Nubian peace gear. Hoodies. T-shirts. Snapbacks. Available at hoodg.com. Get yours today.